I planted some back there.
Hype up.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our City Commission meeting. If this is the first time that you're coming to our commission meeting, I'll just walk you through the agenda and let you know our expectations. So just so you know, this is an official city meeting with city business to be conducted, and so we'll start the meeting momentarily with a moment of silence and then Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll move to public comments. There's a number of opportunities for public comments today. The first opportunity is a public comment on agenda items. So if you are here to speak on something related to something that we're voting on today, I'll give you an opportunity to do that. We also have a scheduled public hearing for this body to sit as an appellate body for a special assessment for the Uptown Business Improvement District role. So if you're here to speak on that, I'm going to ask you to stay put until we open that up. And then at the end, there will be another opportunity for public comment on any other items. So for public comment, we ask that you respect our meeting procedures. We ask that you come to the podium, as I said, share your name, city that you live in, and you'll be given up to 3 minutes to speak. We also ask that you refrain from clapping or cheering, booing, using profanity, vulgar language, threats, name-calling, or making derogatory comments. These actions are considered disruptive to this meeting, and they can inhibit the free speech of others. If you are disruptive or interrupt other people, I will ask you to stop. If you don't stop, I will ask you to leave, and I'll give you one warning before I ask you to do that. So with that, we'll get started today with a moment of silence, and then we'll move to Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, next we'll have roll call.
Commissioner Knight,
Here.
Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
Commissioner Moody,
Present.
Commissioner Purdue,
Present.
Commissioner Asasi,
Present.
Commissioner O'Connor,
Yes.
and Mayor Bliss.
Yes, thank you. All right, and then before we get to our first opportunity for public comment specifically on agenda items, we do have an interpreter here today. So if you need assistance with interpretation services, please let us know.
Good afternoon. My name is Sandra Nickel. We are pleased to provide Spanish interpretation services. This includes interpretation during the meeting and for those who want to provide public comments. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Sandra Nickel. Estamos complacidos de proveer servicios de interpretación en español. Esto incluye interpretación para aquellos que quieran proveer comentarios públicos. Gracias.
Thank you. All right, that will take us to our first opportunity for public comment, and this is public comment on agenda items. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on something we're going to be voting on? All right, seeing none, I'll close that, and we'll move to approval of minutes. So, Commissioners, I have approval of minutes from our meeting on April 25th. That was our regular session, and then also our special meeting on May 2nd. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
All right, moved and supported. Any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, it carries. All right, next that will take us to petitions and communications.
A communication received from Mark Baker, Soft Lights Foundation regarding LED lighting.
That is received and filed,
Communication received from Timothy Sneller regarding support for drones for the police department.
and that is also received and filed. All right, that will take us to reports of city officers, and we have two items before us today.
The first one is a warrant report, April 12, 2023 through April 25, 2023, and March 2023 funds report.
That's received and filed.
and the treasurer's report for the period of April 12, 2023 through April 26, 2023.
And that is also received and filed. All right, next that will take us to our consent agenda. So our consent agenda are items that we voted on earlier today at one of our standing committee meetings where there was a unanimous vote. So today, with one voice vote, we'll adopt those items. Commissioners, can I get a motion for the consent agenda?
So move.
All right, moved and supported. Any questions or comments? All right, seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It carries. All right, that will take us, let's see, we don't have any items removed from consent or ordinances. So that will take us to our scheduled public hearing. So today we have a scheduled public hearing. This is a city commission public hearing to hear appeals on a special assessment related to our Uptown Business Improvement District. So we'll start that with a update, and then if you're here to be heard on that item, this body will hear your appeal and then also be available afterwards. All right, thanks. Go ahead, Paul.
So this is for the Uptown Bid Special Assessment Role. My name is Paula Jastifer. I'm the city assessor. And the City Commission and the Uptown Business Improvement District Board requested that the assessor's office prepare a special assessment roll 8778 in accordance with the Business Improvement District's 3-year plan that was approved March 29th of 2022. Property owners were sent notices March 23 of 2023 and notified of the charge and the appeal process. The assessment roll has been open for the required 2 weeks, starting March 23rd all the way through today. We have not received any appeals on this special assessment roll as of today. So today's the last opportunity for the City Commission to sit as the Board of Review to hear appeals and the final opportunity to file an appeal. I'll be available to take those appeals, and I can go to room 921. And then I'll come back on June the 6th for the confirmation in the billing of the special assessment will be, invoiced July 1st with the summer tax billing.
Great, thank you. All right, so if you are a property owner in this special assessment district and you wish to come forward and express an appeal, now's your opportunity to do that. Is there anyone here who wishes to appeal this assessment? Okay, we'll go ahead and close that public hearing then, and that will be closed and then brought back before us. So that will take us to our last opportunity for public comment. So you're welcome to come forward and come up to the podium here, share your name, the city that you live in. We'll give you up to 3 minutes to speak. So this is an opportunity to speak on any other item. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard during public comment?
Good afternoon, Lucas, First Ward. I didn't bring a bunch of prepared remarks today. I'm still working on some feedback from the last meeting. I've got some compelling conversations in the works with the ACLU and NAACP based on what we witnessed last time. But I wanted to come here, in this daytime environment, and I love a good fight, but I'm getting kind of tired of it. Even me. You guys are all likable people. I keep defending that when I talk to activists in the community that want to single you out, and they say a lot of nasty stuff that I kind of try to put. I know you might not believe it, but I kind of try to explain to them, like, look, fundamentally, these are all likable people. Capable professionals in a lot of cases. And like I said before, half of you volunteered to get into this mess, knowing the mess was here. The other half had the mess dumped on you by life, and that's what happened. But, I try to find a balance. I might not agree that a bunch of you don't make enough money. Mark makes way too much money, and Anita doesn't have enough guts to the salary that she's got. Like, I'd like her to fight harder for that amount of money. But we can have those conversations. I'm not interested in people talking about how you're just awful people. I think that's not true. So I was going to run down the line, but I've done that before. I like all you guys. I just get PO'd when an atrocious bias plays out like it did last time. There's absolutely no reason that I've never been asked to leave this room, and there's absolutely no reason that little row of white nationalist, pro-police bias people were not punished just as much as the black young activists in this room last time. And I think that's a really shameful display that shouldn't have ever happened. I don't know if you can't see with the lights, and that's excusable. I know how it is on a stage. I don't know if you can't hear everything. That's also excusable. But maybe you need better rent-a-cops. Maybe the girl in the back is not being fair and doing the job that you need her to do. I don't know. But that's beyond the pale. And when it gets beyond the pale, I get mad and I stand up and I start saying stuff. When I keep score, I should have been asked to leave last time and I wasn't. And I can't help but notice the one glaring difference between my big white self and all the other people that were asked to leave. So that bothers me. It's getting harder and harder to have that balance, but I'm going to keep pressing for balance. I'm going to come back with some stuff I'm still working on and put it in a little bit more formal context, make it hard for you to ignore, send it in a letter. Maybe I'll write Chamber of Commerce on the top of it so you read it a little harder. I don't know. But we can do better than that. The last time was not a good example of how it should go in here. And there's some real visible bias on the cameras for everybody to go see. So I know you're better than that. And I know you're good people, and I do appreciate the work you do. So good to see you again. Nice short meeting. Good job.
Thanks. All right, others wish to be heard?
How you doing, everybody? My name is DeAndre Jones. I prefer D. Jones, though. I just want to speak about the Southtown Corridor, this fiscal year budget. It's cool to see some funding go over there on the south side, DR, and seeing the participatory budgeting process. I really want to thank the city, honestly, for being able to let me be a part of the participatory budgeting process. It was for the people, by the people, 1,700 plus votes. And to be a part of that initiative, now I'm actually looking at projects, and I'm looking at 26 projects for the J.M. Kaplan Prize, and I'm actually deciding and helping decide where $1.75 million is actually going to another whole prize in this innovative projects. And I'm reading these projects and I'm just thinking, like, I was doing this work in the city of GR last year, hosting workshops at Link Up and everywhere else, and educating the community on how they can actually have a voice and where city funding is going, because people always complain where funding goes and where the city's budget, and they say usually where people spend their funding is where their heart is. And so it's just to be able to be a part of the participatory budgeting process and actually go to the underserved communities in the hood over there at Joe Taylor Park and all of the other parks, and actually having people vote and actually making sure that these people actually vote where funding goes. And hopefully we can get them to vote in the elections and educate them on the elections to get bad politicians out of office. I'm not going to say it's any bad politicians on the commission, but there's just bad politicians overall across the United States. And as we just continuously do this work, and I see the participatory budgeting process, see that you guys are putting $500,000 toward water filters and being able to make sure that people actually have clean water and good water filters. That's cool. Like, I was a part of that work, and you guys are continuing that work. And so I just really, truly appreciate the city and everybody that voted. And I would like to do the work again as I'm doing the work now, as I'm looking at 26 different projects and different projects that people are getting. People already have funding and, you know, got a lot of funding and capital and making impacts across the United States in different projects they're doing. So as I was talking about the fiscal year budget for 2024, on the south side of GR, I just hope that you guys continuously pour funding over there, and you guys pour 7 and 8 figures eventually over there on the south side, because it's needed. It's just needed just overall. The south side needs a lot of love, and I put a lot of love into this city. I put a lot of love and passion into this city every day, unapologetically, just being D. Jones, and I'll never apologize for that. But I just really appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity, because I don't know a better leader that could have did the participatory budgeting process or stood up from the city when you guys needed leaderships. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. All right, others wish to be heard?
Hello, friends. Mark from Grand Rapids. Well, here we go again. When is it going to stop? Eric Adams? What in the hell are you doing? At least the governor of New York tried to double down but I don't believe her neither. You got a black guy in the subway in New York being choked to death by a former Marine for 15 minutes and rendered no aid afterwards. I had the help of 2 people to kill him. You done nothing. As a former cop, you should be ashamed of yourself. You know that guy should have been arrested and held without bond. And yet, you allow your people at NYPD do nothing but question them and let them walk away. It's not good. Something has to be done. And I guarantee you, there will be lawsuits. This is the reason why we have to have accountability in all police departments across America. This cannot be allowed. Not here, not there, not anywhere. And believe you me, New York is going to be set on fire. Trust me on that one. Remove J. Edgar Hoover's name from the FBI building. Remove George Wallace's name from the town of Mobile, Alabama. Justice for Patrick Leoria and Jordan Neely. Kick Clarence Thomas off the Supreme Court. Recall Ron DeSantis and boycott Swanson. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mark. All right, others who wish to be heard?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I'm Janet Zahn, First Ward resident and member of the Grand Rapids Climate Coalition. And I'm here today to acknowledge with gratitude that the city has established a community-wide carbon reduction goal. And very happy to know this is happening. I hope that you will begin to publicize it broadly so that you can secure community support. If people know that we're doing it, they can get behind it. And to support meeting that goal, I'm here to ask whether the city cannot move in support of the Grand Rapids Public School Systems applying for the funding that's available to get clean school buses. We need them for the city as well, but the schools could be a good partner in that work, and I saw that there is money available for that. Community composting is other hammer that I'm going to keep banging on because reducing the amount of organic matter that goes into our landfills is a very important part of how we will reduce carbon emissions. And lastly, also with regard to that, one of our members was asking about the East Grand Rapids pilot program and whether we've considered joining them in that or looking into some other kind of pilot programming for community composting. And lastly, the low-hanging fruit that continues to dangle, of course, is solar at Butterworth. It will help us with our equity goals if we can provide energy relief to the folks living in around that neighborhood. And I'm going to keep coming here and asking for it until we figure out the way, and happy to help in any way that we can. Thank you.
Thanks, Janet. All right, others wish to be heard?
General comments, correct?
Yep.
Perfect. It's Kai, will always be Kai, always is Kai. So, the last meeting, I didn't get to speak because some brittle white woman came up here and was screaming monsters this and praising killers. She stayed for the duration of the meeting, but I was asked to leave. Interesting. Does the fact that I'm of mixed race and not full-blooded white the reason why I couldn't stay and enjoy the fiasco that took part here? Because you were threatening to arrest me. But guess what? White women are the biggest. No, go ahead. Keep looking at me in my eyes. White women. Are you too fragile for that? White women are the biggest monsters this country has ever seen. What do you think supremacy rides off of? The fragility of your white women. So her little old ass could wave her fingers in somebody's face, right? She could threaten someone, right? And she could still sit in her comfortability. Because God forbid that had been ruffled. But yet you threaten me with jail. Like y'all already haven't threatened me with enough. Facing cases here, waiting for trial. Over lies the GRPD gets to spew. You want to give these men drones? How pathetic. His speech, he got up here, and all he did was wham, wham, wham about what everybody else had and what he didn't. Does anybody else have civil rights cases against them? Does anybody else do the things that they do, like brutalizing people on the corners of the streets in the middle of a big event downtown, like Art Prize? No, they don't. If they need help, they can call on those guys because clearly they got it. And I'm sure they would love to come running and be the savior for someone. How pathetic. I will keep showing up. I will always show up. And if I have to turn the fuck up, then that's what I'm doing. So, I can't wait to continue to watch you squirm in your seat, white woman. Because I'm here to make your life a living hell, just like you want to make mine.
All right, others wish to be heard? Okay, I'm going to close that public comment period, and I will turn to my colleagues. Commissioner Knight, start with you. Well, we are done with our public comment period. I'm turning to my colleagues, so I'll start down here with you.
I have nothing.
Okay, thanks. Commissioner?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just real quick, I know in a previous meeting we called out Public Service Recognition Week with Mayor's proclamation, so I just wanted to add my thanks as well. I know in my first couple months here, I've never ceased to be amazed on the late night hours, timestamps that I receive emails, unanswered questions for me. So thank you to everybody. And then also particularly with the Dash 2.0 launching tomorrow too, I appreciate all the heads coming together to be able to make something like that happen. It seems like based on feedback, I know public transportation can often be a bottleneck or a barrier for many people. So I'm very, very thrilled, very excited where that will take us. So.
Thank you. Commissioner Moody? Commissioner O'Connor? Commissioner Isasi?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll echo my colleagues' comments about Public Service Week. I didn't get a chance to go yesterday, but it was great to see the different employees and the work that they do this morning. Just want to remind, we have a couple events coming on in the Second Ward. We have our Creston Pancake Breakfast this Saturday that Commissioner Knight and I will be at. So just a reminder about that, as well as a reminder that the registration is open for our Neighborhood Summit happening on May 20th. Thanks.
Yeah, good reminders. Thanks. Commissioner?
I just want to highlight that we have finished up, I believe we finished up our budget working session. So all of that, all of the discussion, all of the slides, all the presentations are available publicly. There's a lot of good there that advances our strategic plan that considers equitable investments across the city, and lots of good conversations either on horizon topics, existing needs, and I'm looking forward to a lot of those good conversations coming up. So just wanted to acknowledge that and make sure folks were aware that that's available and that we'll be holding public hearing very soon on that. Thank you.
Public hearing is next week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Yeah, thanks. City Clerk?
I have nothing.
City Attorney? City Manager?
I just want to thank the staff for the work and preparation of the budget, as well as all the work in serving our community as we acknowledge Public Services Week.
Yeah, thanks, City Manager. And with that, we're adjourned. Have a good day.